What is the deal, YouTube? What's the deal, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So we are live. You see from the title, we are talking Dolphins. We're talking Bills. We're talking the upcoming game on Saturday. It's another Saturday game. Uh, Another game that has playoff implications on the line. Uh, we're ahead of Denver. And as long as we continue to win, we hold our destiny in our own hands. So, I'm trying to tweet this out real quick. And then we'll go back and we'll start reviewing this, sending this out. Let's take a look at a few things, shall we? Take a look at a few things. A few things I have pulled up. And I'll magnify this so we can all see this right here. Let's go over here and get that magnified. All right, so here we go. Let me turn this TV off so I don't have audio going on in the background. All right, so on defense right now, the Buffalo Bills are the 14th ranked point team on points, 16 ranked giving up yards. They give up an average of 349 yards a game. Pass, they are 8th against the pass. And rushing, they actually give up 124 yards per game. They are the 27th best rushing defense in the league. Now, it's going to be curious to find out and figure out what they're going to do in this game, because the last time Ajayi went against this Buffalo Bill defense, he ripped them a new ass, rushing for over 200 yards. So, you know, Rex Ryan and his boys, of course, they're looking at that footage, trying to figure out what they can do to stop Ajayi. But at the same time, he also has to worry about the big playability of Devontae Parker, Kenny Stills, and Jarvis Landry. See, this is what our offense should be. We have 3 threats at wide receiver, and we have a running game. It's not as good as it was. Without Mike Pouncey, I have to acknowledge it. Our running game is not the same as it was. You can see it. But at the same time, teams are stacking the box to stop a running game that now exists when it didn't exist in the beginning of the season. You go back to some of those games, you see Ajayi only rushing the ball 6 times. 6 times. That's not a running game. Nobody's going to fear that. If you run the ball 6 times and you're not picking up substantial yardage, the play action really doesn't matter. Who's biting on play action at that point? If you're not able to show teams that you can actually run. Because teams are afraid of you running the ball. If nobody's afraid of you running the ball, they're not really worried about it as much. Now, teams still want to stop you from running, of course. But if you've shown the ability to run that ball down people's throats, trust me, defensive coordinators and teams are watching film on you. They're watching film on your run game. They are. Anyway, which they're probably doing it anyway, but I can tell you that they're spending more time if you're doing it effectively, because they want to stop what you do best and force you to be one-dimensional. No team wants to. That's why no team wants to have to deal with a team that they have to stop the run and stop the pass and guess what's going on. That's why it's so important to stay on track and not have 3rd and 9 where you look and you say, all right, they have to pass. If I'm on 3rd and 2, you don't know what I'm doing. But if I'm on 3rd and 9, you know exactly what I'm doing. The element of surprise, man. So, of course, these are our defensive stats. We are 30th against the rush. We're one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL. We're 11th against the pass, and last week definitely helped that. We're 15th in points. So we're around the middle of the pack in points, and we're 24th in total yardage. So, key matchups for this week for me, the key matchups that I have will be number 1, Kenny Stills versus whoever they decide to put on him. Kenny Stills is going to be a matchup problem in this game. He is. I fully expect us to come out and try to establish the run, being that we have a backup quarterback in there. I love the thought that Matt Moore is going to try to score touchdowns. He's going to try to put that ball in the air and score touchdowns. I hope that through this week right here that he's been practicing and working, that we've worked on taking just a little bit of the air out of the ball, so the ball isn't just fluttering up there so long. You know what I mean? I like that he's putting the ball up and allowing the bigger receivers or the bigger tight end to go up and get it. Just a little bit less air. That pass he threw to Kenny Stills, though, on that touchdown was absolutely perfect. He threw that ball where Kenny Stills had to go and get it. It was perfect. A little bit longer, it would have been too long. But if you look at that film, you can see that Kenny Stills didn't have to stop to catch that pass. He caught that ball in perfect stride. So, yeah. My key players are Kenny Stills, Jay Ajayi, definitely. Our defense has its hands full against another mobile quarterback. Last time we played a decent mobile quarterback was Kaepernick, and he ran all over us. So I'm pretty sure that the coaching staff of the Buffalo Bills has watched that, and they're probably trying to figure out ways to exploit this defense with the legs of the legs of Tyrod Taylor, being that he does have wheels. He's a small quarterback. So we have to find ways to contain him in the pocket. Quarterback. So if Matt Moore tears it up for the rest of the year and Ryan Tannehill is ready to first round of the playoffs, who should we start? If Matt Moore has won us 3 significant games with playoffs on the line, and Adam Gase puts Ryan Tannehill back in, that is ridiculous. Yes. If Miami wins and Denver loses and our playoff spot is secure, that's absolutely correct. I don't know who the Denver Broncos have left. Oh. Oh, Jesus. No. No. Okay, so they have the Chiefs and they have the Raiders left. That could be 2 losses. Both of those offenses are decent. Their offense is terrible. So I think they definitely. I think they can lose both of those games. So yeah. Um, is there any trying to figure out? Is there any other scenario where we lose a game and drop out? I don't know what the Ravens. I think the Ravens are 2 games behind, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Kansas City and Oakland. Yeah. We ain't paying Ryan Tannehill 22 million a year for the next 3 years, especially if Matt Moore outplays him. Yeah, I'm very excited about um, the potential that next year. I understand that we're getting ready to go to the playoffs. I'm ecstatic about this playoffs and the potential on how far we can go in these playoffs as our team continues to develop. On the other hand, I am so ecstatic about next year because of all the possibilities. The possibility that we might get Pouncey back. We have the rest of this line. Hopefully, this line can play healthy together next year with Tunsil and Albert and Bushrod and Pouncey and James and all of them. And then Gase continuing to improve this team through the draft. Hopefully, we go into this draft and we go ahead and we draft ourselves some linebacker talent. I don't know if we're going to necessarily need to go defensive end, but Wake isn't getting any older. I mean, any younger. It would be really cool to me if we could get ourselves a nice young DE to put him under Wake's wings. Um, then you have Dion Jordan. I don't know what's going to happen with him. That's another thing. We must keep Kenny Stills. Mario Williams can get the hell out of here. And then the young secondary. So I'm absolutely ecstatic about next year, man. Next year has a lot of promise. And the offense continuing to grow with Parker, Stills, Landry, the offensive line intact with Pouncey. Hopefully, Pouncey's able to come back. We draft someone else, maybe in the second round, to add him to that backup starter role on the offensive line, and we continue to grow. Let's see. Who do you prefer we face in round one, Pittsburgh or Baltimore? I do not want to play Baltimore. I would rather play Pittsburgh. Much rather play Pittsburgh. I don't know what it is about Baltimore, but Baltimore has our number. They kick our ass every time they play us. They have our number. Not only do they have our number, but I mean, the one time I remember beating Baltimore, we barely beat them with Matt Schaub at quarterback. You know what I mean? So yeah, they definitely have our number. So I would rather play Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh to me, I wouldn't say they're more beatable because they have a better offense with Brown and Bell. I just think their defense is is an easier defense to make plays on. It could be a shootout unless our defense is able to tighten up and do what we did last game where we held Bell under 100 yards, we held Antonio Brown under 100 yards, and we whacked Big Ben Roethlisberger. So I think the Steelers are definitely the easier team to play. Are you worried we may lose on Saturday? No, I'm not worried at all. I wasn't worried about the Jet game. I'm not worried about this game. I'm honestly not worried about the Patriot game. I think we're gonna win out. I think we win the last 3 of these games. I think we can win out. Now, um, I don't. I was last time I looked at the weather before I gave my prediction, and the shit said we were gonna get snow and ice, and we didn't get none of that. All we got was wind. So I'm not even gonna take the weather into consideration in this game because the weather tricked the hell out of everybody. So this is my prediction for this game. Um, the Bills are going to have to pick their poison. Do they want to let Ajayi get loose, or do they want to leave one-on-ones? Do they want to leave one-on-ones with Still, Parker, and Landry? I'm thinking they definitely want to stop Ajayi. So I think early there is a possibility for us to have big plays, especially from Kenny Stills. I think he's going to be huge. All right. So my prediction for this game, I already said, I probably have already given away that I think we're going to win. But I think we beat the Buffalo Bills in this game. My prediction for this game is going to be 27-17. That's my prediction in this game. I think well, you know what? Yeah, I think Matt Moore is going to throw 3 touchdowns in this game. Possibility he might do more, but I think he's going to throw at least 3 touchdowns. I hope he doesn't have no freaking turnovers. Keep those turnovers low. But that is my thoughts on this. Yeah. 27-17. I was almost tempted to go around 30, but I'm going to leave it at 27. 27-17, we beat the Bills, and we head towards the Patriot game. Now, let me say this. If we beat the Buffalo Bills, right? We beat the Buffalo Bills, and the Broncos lose, I would sit every single person that we can. There's no possibility for us to get a home field advantage. No possibility, right? It's in the cabinet. There's no possibility for us to get a home field advantage. We got the wild card spot. It makes no sense whatsoever to put one starter in the game versus the Patriots. None. No Ajayi, no Albert, no Tunsil, nobody. I would put every single backup I can in the game versus the Patriots if we beat the Bills. That's what these guys are playing for, if you ask me. If you ask me, this game right here for us, we're playing for the starters, they're playing for a bye week. We win this game right here, the Patriot game, and if we win this game and the Broncos lose, then that Patriot game is a bye week. You don't play Matt Moore, Ajayi, or anybody. I would sit everybody. Every single player that's a starter would sit, especially on the O-line. It makes no sense to put Tunsil out there and risk getting him hurt for a meaningless game. So that's my prediction, man. I will talk to you guys on Saturday, which is Christmas Eve. Happy holidays to everybody, man. I hope you guys are being safe out there. If you're traveling, travel safe, man. This is going to be my first. Isn't it the difference of us playing either Baltimore, Pitt, and Titans, Texans, Colts? That I'm not sure what you mean by that. And the Ravens have to lose 2. Let's look at the ball. Hold on, before I finish this, let's look at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens play the Steelers, so they could very well lose that. The Ravens play the Steelers, and they play the Bengals. Ugh. But they could possibly lose to them Steelers. So we need the Broncos and the Ravens to both lose, which is highly possible. Because the Broncos play the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been hot. And the Steelers, that offense has been smoking. So this right here, why not go into the playoffs with momentum? A lot of these guys on our team do not have playoff experience. All right, Jay Orion. All right, so you make a good point, right? I understand your point, right? I understand your point. But let's say we take Laramie Tunsil and we put him in versus the Patriots with the playoffs locked up. Let's say right now the Broncos and the Ravens. Let's say the Broncos and the Ravens both lose, right? We go into that Patriot game with the playoffs sewn up. We put Laramie Tunsil out there and he suffers an injury. Is it worth it? See what I mean? We put Matt Moore out there and he suffers an injury. And now we got to go into the playoffs with TJ Yates, a guy who's been on the team for 3 weeks as our quarterback. It doesn't make sense. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, man, I'm going to finish this. I will talk to you guys on Saturday. We will be talking Buffalo Bills, Dolphins. Hopefully my gut is right. When we go out there, we head to 10-5. We get those other 2 wins. We get that win and we get those 2 losses, which is highly possible. I'm going to be a Chief fan and I'm going to be a Steeler fan, at least for one day, because if they both lose, we get a bye week. I will talk to you guys next week. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Hard hitting sports in your face.